Good morning and welcome to Downtime with the Dames. We are here on this gorgeous or terrible, depending on your weather or, whatever it is, Sunday morning to play a new game with you called Brindlewood Bay by Jason Cordova. My name is Jen Vaughn. I will be the keeper of this game, and my pronouns are she, they, and we are here today to do a little character creation and talk about the rules. So who else is at the table? Let's go to my direct, pointing this way, that way, Brittni.
Like, no idea where you're pointing, and if it's pointing at me. Hi, I'm Brittni Leonigay. My pronouns are she, they, and I can't wait to make a Brindlewood Bay character today.
Yes, we got our old Bay biddies all up in here. Okay, and our other character, or other real human being?
Down. For me, you could just down and you don't have to worry about which direction it is.
Okay.
I'm Jess. My pronouns are they, them, and I'm also excited. I'm mostly excited.
I think you're on Hangout mute.
Oh, I am.
Oh, the stream might be able to hear you.
The stream could hear me, but you two can't.
Yeah, classic.
I knew.
We should just do that.
I knew Jess was going to do this, like start off drama.
Oh my gosh, it's true. That's true about me, is that I'm always causing drama. Everyone knows that about me.
The question is, what were they saying while we couldn't hear them while we were doing it?
That is the question.
I do my intro and just like, are you, Brittni? Really? Just commentary the whole time.
I'll do it again so that you two can hear me, even though you already know who I am. I'm Jess, they, them, and I'm excited for my Chaos Granny.
Yes. So let me pull out the official rules in this stationery, full grandma style. I assume you're smiling. I'm not looking anymore. No, okay. No. So Brindlewood Bay, for those of you that don't know, and also for the dames, you will be playing a group of elderly women, members of a local mystery book club called the Murder Mavens, who find themselves solving murder mysteries all the time in their little New England town of Brindlewood Bay. Sorry, I was about to be like, name unknown. That's literally the name of the game. They become aware of dark occult conspiracies that connect the murders over time, and possibly to save their community, will do something about that. It'll just depend. But this game is inspired by a little bit by the television show Murder, She Wrote, as well as cosmic horror, cozy mystery books, and American television series from the 70s through the 90s. And some of that character creation that we do today, you might see a little bit of that as well, or you will actually. But Brindlewood Bay is set in the small coastal community of Massachusetts. It was a whaling town in the 18th and 19th centuries and is now a tourist spot. There's a lot of bed and breakfasts there, converted from people's homes, and the town has antique shops, comfy dining spots, artists and artisans who are here for temporary residencies, guided fishing tours, just to give you a little bit of spice of that. And the one other thing that I wanted to let you know before we start creating our characters and getting into the rules of the game is that the Murder Mavens all got together based on their love of something called the Gold Crown Mystery Series, featuring the globe-trotting super sleuth Amanda Delacour. And this actually influences, it's one of the moves you can do later. It's called the Gold Crown move, and where you get to make up one of her many books, which is, again, something, if you've listened to our podcast before, the Good Fortune campaign, you know that the dames love to make up things, so especially book titles. So, Mavens, we've got our Brindlewood Bay character sheets, which are beautiful and one page. So there's a set of names, and again, you do not have to use these names. They are a little bit waspy, a little bit New Englandy, so we can make up new names. And for anyone else, also Kat will be joining us. She's just not here today. Sorry, forgot to mention that. So, all right, what are y'all thinking?
My grandma's name. I don't have a last name, but her name is Athena Pearl.
Love, goddess-like.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was going for. Although my granny doesn't actually have any kids or grandkids of her own, but her sister does. And when her sister's kids were younger, and the her sister tried to explain to their kids that like, this is your aunt, my sister. They were young enough that they didn't quite get it, and then the nickname just stuck. And so her like nieces and nephews and grandnieces and nephews all call her Aunt Sis.
Oh, okay, that's beautiful. Aunt Sis. And I assume that I'm sorry, what are their pronouns?
We'll go with they, she.
She. Okay. I assume that they also, anytime someone just uses Athena or Pearl, they correct them and they're like, it's Athena Pearl.
Yes, very
Okay.
true. Yeah.
And is there a hyphen in there too? I'm sorry, I just need to know all the beats for my notes.
There's not a hyphen, but it is both names at all times. If they're not, if they're not being called Aunt Sis, they're being called Athena Pearl.
Okay.
Not one or the other. That is very important.
I knew it. All right. What about your murder maven's name, Brittany?
I was flip-flopping, but I think I'm gonna go with Dorothy, or Dot as a nickname. Yes. I really like Dot. Yeah, we're gonna go with Dorothy.
Okay. I mean, obviously, if like something feels better after you've done more of the character creation, you could totally do that too. Or his name was first, but it's like that's always like it's like after you build your character, you're like, wait a minute, this is clearly a Clementine or something. So, all right. So next in the section, in the character creation section, is style, and these are sort of describing different ways you would dress. So, like speed walking, you'd be wearing like like a little probably like 80s style headband and like sweats, like an open hoodie all the time. Martha's Vineyard, matching cardigan sets or like a small like flowery blouses with like a sun hat. But again, you do not have to use these. They're just samples to help you, go on your way. So Brittany, we'll go with what's Dorothy's style?
Dorothy is the first piece of clothing that I could think that Dorothy's wearing all the time is like one of those quilted jackets like that she made, I think. Oh, I don't think I said. We'll go with she, her pronouns for Dot.
Thank you.
Sorry. Yeah, you know, like with like it's almost like an athletic jacket, right? It's almost like a Letterman jacket, but it's quilted. That's what I'm picturing.
So it's got the crisscrossing like
the
exactly. lines. Yeah.
Yep, and like that like thick kind of collar and sleeve ends, but like it's like pastel, like scraps of her project's quilted material. And those like khaki, kind of slightly baggy khaki drawstring type pants, and a really comfortable New Balance walking shoe.
Oh my god, built for comfort.
Yeah,
style,
but also like ready to go, like can be ready to go at any moment. But yeah.
Yes, those quilted jackets. Shit though. All right. What's Athena Pearl rocking on a regular basis? Doesn't have to be, every day, but
yeah, on a regular basis, I think Athena Pearl favors a lot of like mismatched and not very well put together, like crafted items, because throughout the years, their nieces and nephews and grandnieces and nephews would occasionally get into these phases where they're like, oh, grandma, like teach me how to knit, teach me how to crochet, teach me how to quilt. And they do it for just a little while and then kind of like fall back out of it. But like while their family is like learning these things, they'll like make stuff for Athena Pearl and like, oh, Aunt Sis, I made this for you. And of course, Athena Pearl is like, yes, I love it. Thank you. And so wears all of these like random like quilted and crocheted and knitted items that their family has made for them. But they made them like while they were still learning and then kind of like fall out of the habit. So they're all like very beginner and like a lot of missed stitches and that sort of thing.
Oh my god. Okay. You're the Katamari grandma. Okay. Yes. Got it. Yes. That's very nice. You're like, this is my refrigerator. Like, well,
exactly.
My grand nephew grandnephew, nieces and nibblings clothing. All right. Yeah. Love that. I can't wait. Kat's gonna be like, all right, I have to fit in here too. No. Okay. So finally, here's the cozy activity that you pick is something that your character, no two mavens can have the same activity. It doesn't have to be what's on here. And This is something that you do. You can do during the game. It's actually a move you can do to remove a condition. Like if you are irritated or banged up from maybe a little fist fight. But it's something that it could be a hobby they've started since they retired or something they've done their whole life. So really up to you. I did beekeeping for mine. So when I played, so again, whatever you want. Jess, we'll go back around to Athena Pearl. Or if you do want to talk it out too, like, maybe you met while you're, doing whatever it was.
Yeah, what were you thinking, Jess? Maybe we can.
Athena Pearl's main cozy activity is making mojo bags because their background is also like as a root worker. So they're still very heavily into like hoodoo and like growing items and like collecting items for mojo bags to like give their family. And mojo bags are basically like little spell bags, but specific to like hoodoo. So they make these mojo bags like for their friends and family, and that's sort of like their cozy activity, I guess, is really actually sort of like a magpie-ish, like collecting items for these mojo bags.
Okay. I can tell that Athena Pearl is going to be the person that lets nothing go to waste in their household as well. Like,
yes.
Yeah. I mean,
yes.
We all do.
That's how we can know each other, because I was thinking about quilting, but I thought it was better. Quilting was kind of boring. And so I think that like Dot did quilting at some point and then got really creative with like all the scraps that are involved in quilting. And she started making like little like clothing for birds. That was her birds and squirrels. She made clothing for them, like hats and scarves and things. And so now she doesn't really quilt. She just like scraps for fabric. And so maybe we met at like a fabric swap or something like that. And yeah, but yeah, I'll let that one be because I have a lot of other things in mind for the items for small creatures.
That is incredible.
I love this for Dorothy. Quick question: living birds and squirrels, stuffed, both?
The intention is living. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thank goodness.
Don't know. Like that was answered very oddly, but okay.
The intention was for living. Oh no!
But he just wouldn't stay still. All right. All right. Great. Beautiful. This is gonna be fun when you all do it. Okay. So now we're going to get into your abilities part. So as you can see, there are 5 abilities, and at the beginning of the game, so you can add 1 to a single ability. I will go over what they are now, and you can go ahead and pick which ability you would like to cover now or for our first game. So we've got, okay. So. And when you roll your die rolls during the game, this will be your little modifier that you can tack on to your dice roll. This game uses 2d6 for everyone wanting to know. And there is also advantage and disadvantage where you add a third d6 and then you take, the 2 highest and 2 lowest. But anyway, your Maven's abilities, they can have a vitality. And so this is if the action involves strength, dexterity, endurance, athleticism, or raw physicality. So great way to put that. Composure. So this could be if you're trying to avoid a fear-based action, something that requires a steady hand, a calm disposition, or perhaps intense concentration. Then there is reason. So this is if the Maven is into studying books, researching a problem, examining a crime scene, or otherwise engaging their mental faculty. And then we have presence. This is when the Maven is trying to charm someone, intimidate someone, or capture someone's imagination. Which, could be through pretending to be someone else, etc. And then last is sensitivity. And this is if your action involves the occult or supernatural forces. I could also decide something should be governed by this as well if I know secretly it's about the occult. So And the way we trigger these abilities is when we are, going through this adventure and we're talking, and then you just like say a maven wants to, call the local, I forgot what it's called. Call the local fire department and see what time they're open. Because they're trying to find, the chief of the fire department, and so that would be like researching a problem. But that's also not a great example, so that'd be really easy to do. If you're trying to charm the chief of police, boom, then you'd be using presence. So something like that. So you don't have to tell us right now what you're putting your first point in, but
Spirituality for Athena Pearl. Or sensitivity, rather.
Sensitivity, yeah. Yeah, bringing it up to a full 0.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, these start off with 0 for vitality, 1 for composure, 1 for reason because of age, 0 in presence, and -1 in sensitivity because you're just going to say what you want, I guess, sometimes.
I mean, Athena Pearl will still do that, but there's also a sort of like occult twist to it.
A little je ne sais quoi. Do you know where you want Dot's first point to go?
I think I'm putting it in presence.
Okay.
Feels right.
Yeah. Especially if you've got these fashionable squirrels and birds hanging out with you too, right? Like
it's all right. Like a
retired Disney princess.
But, yeah,
I was gonna say
trying to say aged.
I was gonna say a Project Runway Cinderella, but yes, same thing.
Beautiful. And so the rest of the character sheet is for when we are playing the game. So you have conditions that you might get from a hard action. At the end of our play sessions, there is like a little end of session list, and that will help up your XP. And then there are the Maven moves, and that's the next thing that we're going to pick. So the Maven move, this is super cute, super fun. They are based on either television shows or books, and you can. They provide the player, the Maven, with a very special like little flavor that they can use. Sorry, I'm trying to pull it up. Where did it go? Maven moves. Boom. There we go. And just like the cozy activity, no two Mavens can have the same one. And so we've got something like, there's one that's called like Fox Mulder, like from the X-Files. And so it could be like someone is connected to the dark conspiracy, helping you behind the scenes. And you can tell the keeper, who is me, some more information, and then you get an extra clue. There's one based on, some of these are also beyond my knowledge, like Dale Cooper. I know that one is from Seattle proper with oh my god, I just forgot. The Black Lodge.
Oh, Twin Peaks?
Twin Peaks, thank you. Boom. Yes. Columbo from Columbo. Jim Rockford from the Rockford Files. But then there's a couple I'm like, I don't know who this is. So and was I smart enough to send you the alternate Maven moves? Friends?
Yeah, you did.
Good.
Why those? Why do those exist?
The alternates, because those are based on book characters. So, and video games, because as you can see, we have Phoenix Wright in there.
Oh, I see. So do we pick only one from both sheets, or
you just pick one? So
from the total of the two sheets.
From the total of the two.
I
yeah.
see. Great.
Yeah, when Jason Cordova first made Brindlewood Bay, there were just the first set. They were all based on the television show. And then with the Kickstarter version they included the ones that are based on books. Like Lydia Brown and Nancy Drew,
Yes, got it. Okay, great. Love that.
Again, a couple. Clarice Starling from Silence of the Lambs. Yeah. That one I don't know that I'll.
Robert Langdon from the Da Vinci Code series.
Thank you. Okay. Woof. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Cool. So so you can pick. You just pick one of them, and so it could be. Yes, some of these are interesting and fun. I like Tonton. You have a canine companion with you the entire time. You share a strong bond with, from the Belgian comic series. from 100 years ago. That's the thing is some of these are. If you want to come up with a new one, we can. Especially if it's from a mystery series. If there's not one you see here, we can come up with something that's interesting for you.
I already found one that was perfect for Athena Pearl.
Okay.
I don't know how to say this word or name, but it's in the alternate Maven Moves one, and it's Cadfael. Cadfael?
I believe so. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But as long as no one else has that as their first choice, I feel like that's perfect for Athena Pearl, because you are a highly skilled herbalist and have an additional cozy activity, herbalism. If there's an herbal tincture or decoction that would be helpful in a situation, you can take the time to make it. If you do, add it to your cozy little place. And for like a root worker, like that just makes a lot of sense to me.
Beautiful.
Oh my gosh. This is from
the Cadfael Chronicles.
It's what? It's about a monk who solves mysteries.
Yep. From 1994 to 1998, a full 4 years.
What in the world?
Amazing.
Starring David Jacoby. Yeah. Okay. He looks familiar as one of the 4 people on British television. Sweet. A medieval detective. What a beautiful way to pull this in. All right.
I'm obsessed now. I just need to learn more about this television show.
Yeah, now I kind of want to watch this.
Brindlewood Bay's true motives coming out to get you to watch old TV for the royalties. All right, Brittni, are you seeing anything that's looking good?
Yeah, I had 2. I was kind of waffling between. They're both on the regular Maven Move sheet. The MacGyver one sounds really fun. The MacGyver one, when you improvise in a situation using whatever is at hand, ask the other players and keeper to name 3 objects you find in the environment. As long as you can give a plausible explanation for how these 3 objects together are helpful in the current situation, you get automatic 12+ on a single associated die roll. And it can only be used once per mystery. That just seems fun. Like mechanically, that seems fun. I don't know, like narratively, if it matters or makes sense for Dot, but I think I could.
I feel like with a lot of your scrap finding, though, it does. So
yeah, that's true. That's true. And like quilting and putting things together, and maybe I think like the other thing is she's like into like puzzles and things like that. So that could work. The other one that sounds really fun, but maybe more fun for you as well, Jen, is the Rick and AJ one. I don't know what this is in reference to. Maybe I should also look it up.
That's literally what I'm doing. I'm like, I don't know this one.
Yeah, please look it up. So Rick and AJ is you have a sibling who's your polar opposite in terms of fashion sense and personality. Describe them to the keeper and name them. You can always request a scene with your sibling. You can also call on them for help, in which case you take advantage of any die rolls associated with actions they assist you with. However, that help always comes at a cost.
I like that. Okay. Rick and AJ are from the names of the they're the names of the brothers from the TV show called Simon and Simon in the US, which ran from 1981 to 1989.
Wow.
Brothers running a private investigation agency in San Diego, California, where they obviously had different distinct personalities. One is a Vietnam War vet, with a penchant for cowboy boots, denim, and pickup trucks. And then the other is a college graduate with a preppy look and taste for classic cars.
Yep. One of them is wearing a suit and the other one is wearing a cowboy hat and jean jacket.
Yep.
And that's why they're different.
Yep.
Oh, man. Remember the 80s when TV shows lasted so long because there was just nothing else happening?
And reruns were like barely a thing still because of licensing. Yeah.
Right.
Woof. You could do anything.
You're truly good. Oh my God. There were two theme songs for the show. A song called Best of Friends, which I assume is ironic or maybe came in the later seasons. And then the other one is called A Recipe for Disaster. Oh man.
I mean, it's whichever you want because they both sound great to me. So, I'm always down for sibling fun. So.
I know. Yeah, I know. I was picturing too, like, I think like almost like a Morticia Addams kind of character, just like a very dark and very like just annoyed with everyone around them kind of person. I think though for me, I'm going to go with the MacGyver one. I think that one sounds fun.
Heck yeah. All right, we got our MacGyver move. Beautiful. Okay. Moving on down the, sorry, I've got my like 10 Brindlewood Bay tabs open. Okay. Perfect. And I can't wait to see which one Kat picks. Should we take bets on which one Kat's gonna do? We can do it offline. No.
I think she sent them to us actually already.
Oh shoot, she did. Dang it.
That would have been fun though.
Yeah. So there's two other sections called the crowns. There's the crown of the queen and the crown of the void. We will get to these later, but one provides you with a flashback that you can narrate, and then the other it changes some of your modifiers. There is also a different type of crown that we will be using that serves as a safety device as well. So if you want to move backwards on something, there's a crown move as well. But for now, we'll keep those. Actually, you know what? We can pick them. Yeah, we could pick them now. Why wouldn't we? Sorry. So let's look at Crown of the Queen first. Actually, no. Sorry, we picked those in game. I'm sorry. That's what I was like, whoops, I was getting ahead of myself. We'll pick those during the game as you need them. So, but now we're going to talk about those other little things to fill out our cozy little place. So I know Athena Pearl, excuse me, Jess, you're already becoming Athena Pearl. I know you mentioned that you have no grandkids, but if you wanted to go and if you had a deceased partner of any kind, this would be the time to share it. And maybe as well as you describe a little bit about your home. So do you mind doing that?
I think Athena Pearl has a pretty long string of deceased partners. Just sort of like that's how things have kind of like worked out in the past, not like for suspicious reasons. And
okay.
Yeah. I also forgot to mention what your career was before you moved to Brindlewood Bay. Sorry.
So before moving to Brindlewood Bay, Athena Pearl actually was a full-time root worker, like found a career as a root worker and was able to like create tinctures and things for people and like sold them. Also like taught like hoodoo workshops and that sort of thing. Did a lot of like research on like herbalism and even like the history of hoodoo in the US, and is like a published author about like academic articles about hoodoo.
Mm-hmm. Where did they live before? Was it?
They lived in, I'm gonna say Reno, because I personally miss Reno, and this what I'm describing, especially the string of like deceased partners, feels very Reno to me.
Interesting. Okay. Are you allowed to go back to Nevada? Just a question. No reason.
There's a cemetery there that I'm not allowed to go to because a lot of family members don't like to see me at those graves. No, that's got really dark really quickly.
We'll just say it's none of your business and move on.
Yeah, there we go.
All right. And then also while Brittany's answering, you can start thinking of something that you want to put in Brittany's cozy little place. Brittany, what did Dorothy do before? Does Dorothy have a deceased partner? Any kids, grandkids?
Yeah, so Dorothy is from Medford, Massachusetts, which is just outside of Boston, very, very close to Boston. And she was an organist. She is actually a musician. She's a very prolific musician, but her love was playing the organ. And she actually had two jobs during baseball season. She was the Fenway Park organist for many, many years. And when she wasn't doing that, she was an organist for the church that she attended with her late husband, who insisted that they attend church. And she no longer does that since she moved to Brindlewood Bay. And she no longer plays the organ because she has not yet found an organ on Brindlewood Bay. And you can't just play an organ in your house because you need like the whole thing. So that's kind of sad. She was married. She was married to a man. Let's call him Tom, but people called him Sarge because he was a kind of big wig in the military. And he's a very stoic man, very rarely spoke ever to people in public, but then people would be surprised to learn that like he very rarely spoke to Dot either. Just a very kind of quiet man with his own kind of things going on. They had 3 kids, but their kids do not have any children of their own, so there are no grandchildren. There are just like 3 grown kids with their families off in other places. Yeah, and her husband isn't actually maybe that dead, but he did disappear and she doesn't really know what happened. But a strange thing happened when she woke up one day and he was just not there anymore. And she just didn't care. So she never really looked into it.
All right. Interesting. All right. Can she go back to Michigan? Did she, or I guess, did she collect any life insurance? I'm just trying to see like how in trouble
she did collect life insurance. There was a death certificate drawn up after a while when he did not return.
Right, I think it's 5 years.
There's like a presumed dead kind of thing. She just didn't care, and people around her kind of noticed a change in her. She was pretty quiet, reserved person, just like your normal little kind of doting grandma type. And then Sarge disappeared, and she kind of came out of her shell and started making her own friends, and so and maybe that's when she moved to Brindlewood Bay.
Nice. Wow. Okay. Such rich characters. I might also have some questions for you after the show that I will email you just for a couple like tidbits to weave in, obviously. But yeah, so you moved to Brindlewood Bay after that. Beautiful. And I'm sorry, did you name your children? I was still typing.
I didn't.
Okay.
I did not.
Okay.
They exist though. They're real.
I'll just put children exist. Okay. Thank you. That's fine.
I imagine they're grown. They're all 3 of them. 2 of them are married. One of them is not, happily unmarried. Whatever, just very boring. One of them's gay. It's like, whatever, they live somewhere else and they never
the
visit.
usual mathematics now. Okay.
Yeah. It's like your average family, your average American family.
All right. And any grandkids?
No grandkids. No grandkids.
No grandkids.
Yeah. Her kids are all like, they're like in this economy, global warming. That's the kind of
this
like
climate
vibe.
change.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you didn't do enough, so okay.
But she's the type of grandmother who, still holding out hope, asking a lot,
Oh, okay. Like the pressure is on. Okay. All right. Beautiful. Okay. So we'll finish up these character sheets with the cozy place, as mentioned. So in this section, this is where we note some distinctive items that can be found at your home. It also functions as an equipment list for anything that you can find there. So let's see, you will each add 2 items to your own, and then you will add an item to someone else's as well. So you can think about that if you want. I can like pull up cats and describe it while you're thinking.
I think I missed. Can you explain that? What's the cozy little who's hot? What is it? Is it just
cozy? Sorry, that's just your home. And it's like stuff that you would have there. So it could be related to your like one of your. It could indicative of your hobby, your cozy little hobby. So it could be like you've got like a storefront for squirrels, tiny racks of clothing for the next fashion line. Just an example. And it doesn't have to be related to anything that you said before either. It could just be like, this perfect gold pot with a single plant in it.
But you said that we can also make an item for each other.
Oh, you have to.
Perfect, because I already have the item for Dot.
Okay.
And it's that I think at some point after Dot started making these squirrel clothes, while also like pressuring her kids for grandkids, one of the kids was like, "I don't have time for this. I can't deal with this," and gave her some sort of like really like fancy doll. And like the purpose of the doll was for Dot to like make these squirrel clothes, but like for the doll, to like dress up this doll and be like, here's the best I can do for you. Like their kid got impatient one day and did it as sort of like a mean joke. And then like later sort of regretted it and was like, I shouldn't have sent you that. I'm sorry. But like I think Dot has really just like either like really dived into like making clothes for this doll or just like set it aside somewhere and it like only makes the squirrel clothes or like other animal clothes.
The latter. I think this doll is still there because in case her children show up to visit, it'll be there. But it is unclothed. It is neglected.
Perfect.
But it's there.
Maybe
it's
a little
there.
bit dusty.
Dusty, and it's wearing just like a white onesie, like the most basic of like outfits. But it's there for sure to remind everyone.
Oh my god. Okay.
Perfect.
This is beautiful.
Even better than I could have imagined.
Okay. Did you have any of your own items, Jess, or Brittni? Did you? Or you know what? While you're thinking, I'll go over what Kat has picked out. Obviously, for the podcast, we'll probably make her record it, but an easy section to clip out. But for those that are here, hello, Andy, hello, Janet. So Kat's character name is Chrysanthemum. Love it. we got our jewels, we got our flowers, we got our punctuation dot or pattern. Her style is Martha's Vineyard. We knew it. Wine grandma over here. And her cozy activity, Chrysanthemums, is birding. So hope she's ready to make up some new birds. And also, I mean, wild, coming after Brittni's crown with the with Dad of the Year over here. Like,
I hope part of Chrysanthemum's like birding activity is spotting specifically the birds that Dot has made clothes for.
I don't want to spoil it, but I think I'm gonna be talking to Kat's character a lot about how you would catch a bird, and Kat's character is probably gonna be like, but like Dot will forget every time that it's like that's not what birding is. Like,
Yes.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
No, I'm very ready.
It's what
that.
birding sounds like, though, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. And then for her Maven move, Kat chose the Michael Knight from the TV show where the car talks. I'm sure I'll remember in a moment. Thank you, Knight Rider. Jeez, okay, yeah. And that is described as you have a trusty mode of transportation, an oversized sedan, motorbike, or old truck, which, it says adult tricycle.
What?
That she has also named Daisy. Love it. 2 flowers. Okay. And this adult tricycle has gotten her out of more than one sticky situation. So it's in her cozy little place. And when she uses it, she gets advantage on a die roll. So beautiful. And so cool. That's also one of her items for her cozy little place. And then, she also added her partner. Chrysanthemum's partner died young, leaving her to run a floundering general store type business that she turned into a food emporium label of pre-made comfort foods. Oh, okay. So I'm hoping that's just like shelf-stable nacho cheese, but we'll find out next time what that is. And you two can add an item to Kat's cozy little place now, or Chrysanthemum's. Then we'll also make you tell her next time as well. So. But if that gives you enough stuff. So Jess, did you have an item for Athena Pearl's place that you wanted to add? Cozy little place?
You mean, do I have one? Oh, wait, no, you're talking about
Either. Well, yeah, Dorothy, did
first.
you have one? You need one for your place and one for her place. So
I don't. I was just going to say, nope, I don't. I'm stuck on Cozy Little Place.
Okay, great. Thank you for chiming in to let me know that the situation hasn't changed.
I just meant move on.
Yeah, no. It's like ding ding, 11 o'clock and nothing's happened. That's the best type of news, though, right? Like that's what a 24-hour news network should be, right?
Just
don't worry about
announcing that nothing's happened. Yeah.
What 11 o'clock and all's well. Yeah. Anyway, but I was thinking of the Robin Hood animated movie. There's the like vultures that just like wander around and just like save the time and all's well. Anyway.
Sorry, but I just so you know, I did start typing Robin Hood cartoon, thinking this was your thing for your cozy little place. So sorry. Still need.
Oh.
A full-size, sexy Robin Hood as a fox. No.
Yes.
Cardboard cutout.
Perfect. One thing that I feel like just seems super obvious is just like a whole bunch of handmade crafts, just like a bunch of items, like not just the clothes they wear, but also just like other, you know, like is this maybe too much? That like I'm thinking random like paintings and like little like pinch pots and things that like their family has made them over the years.
No, I think that's fine. Definitely, like you can always add more world building, but I will need one very specific item too, just in case. So like if something happens to it, you'll notice.
Yeah.
Not that I would ever do anything to anything sentimental of your character.
Jen, that's my DM attitude.
Right. So I'm just over here obfuscating the game.
Okay, a specific thing I think would be a like picture frame made of like popsicle sticks and like dried noodles. That's got a picture of like all from like a family reunion of all of Athena Pearl's nibblings and grand nibblings.
Mm-hmm. How long ago was the family reunion? Would you say? Like what year? Is like on like on the foam letters or whatever numbers.
Oh yeah, the foam stickers. Yeah. That like they're constantly having to like re-tape down because they've lost
absolutely yeah because they do not last in sun or cold. Yeah. So the weather.
I would say it's like because is the game taking place in 2023?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah, the game's taking place now.
So I guess 2019 was the
2019. All right.
What this one is from.
All right. Oh, before.
Yeah.
I mean, we could pretend COVID didn't exist. Every TV show is basically an alternate timeline as well, depending. All right, perfect. Brittni, how are you doing? Now, just so you know, you get to add an item like at the beginning of every play session to your cozy little place too. So if you don't think of the perfect thing now, you know, just add it.
I think my problem is I'm like, what is what's perfect? What's, you know, what's this for? So we need to have 3 things now?
If you can just do one for yourself and one for Jess's character, and then we can add the other one at the beginning of the next session. So,
but sorry, how many do we need before we start the game?
3.
3 total?
3 total, yeah.
Okay.
And I guess Kat's gonna give you one too, so you'd have 4 technically.
4 total. So 2 for me and 2 for me.
Yeah.
Got it.
But again, if it's like tripping you up, I don't want you to like worry about it. Like,
no, I'm not worried. So one thing I don't know how this works with the game, but one thing that is in Dot's house is a stand-up piano. Like,
yeah,
gorgeous, like carved and just like very intricate details, and it sounds like a dream, considering it's a stand-up piano. Like it's just lovely.
Oh, beautiful. That sounds great. And quick question, do you play? Does Dot play?
Yeah, she's a musician. She was an
organist.
Right.
Oh my god, an organist, of course. No, she can't transfer those hand skills. Sorry. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, no, Dot plays lots of instruments. She's like truly a prolific musician. But just organ is just interesting, and she fell in love with it at an early age. But yes, she plays piano quite
Of course.
lovely.
No, I'm sorry. I was a mental, just on a vacation for a minute, thinking about the carvings and the piano. So, okay.
And then the other thing is assigned baseball.
Ooh.
From the 2004 season, Red Sox season, in which they won the World Series for the first time since like 1918 or something crazy like that.
Mhm.
It's got everyone on it. It's got David Ortiz. It's got Johnny Damon. It's got Manny
Third person.
Ramirez.
Okay.
It's got lots. It's got the whole team, and like this is like it's valuable. But she was the organist, then, so it was just very easy for her to come by that. Like they,
Yeah.
they signed it for her. So, but she's very humble about it. It's just kind of off to the side, of a mantle somewhere.
Is it in one of those glass or plastic box, like display boxes?
Yeah, the simple plastic display box.
Mhm.
Yep, exactly.
Cool. All right. Do you have an item for Athena Pearl's house that you'd like to put there? It does not have to be something you gave them.
Right.
It could just be something you and obviously Athena Pearl has to like agree. You can't like force like a used scream mask, like with blood on it. Like, whoa. I mean, it is cozy, creepy vibes, but
I don't have anything right now. Is that okay?
that's fine. We
need
can
some thinking
yeah.
time.
Do either of you have something for Chrysanthemum, Kat's character? It's okay if you don't, since she hasn't been able to fully breathe life in it for you.
I don't know if I have anything for Chrysanthemum yet, but I do have my second item.
Your second one? Okay, perfect.
Which is a very old and boring, like an old and sort of dusty dictionary. But when you open it, it's actually like a hidden box, like the dictionary is actually carved out. But when you look at it on the shelf, it just looks like a really old dictionary. And inside is Athena Pearl's spell book.
Okay. Yeah. Something no one would ever pick up because
exactly.
The internet exists now. Yeah.
Exactly.
We don't believe in ageism here, but I just want to let everyone know my grandma bought me a dictionary when I graduated high school, even though the internet was around and had been for like a decade or more. So still got that dictionary.
Yep.
Just in case.
Yep.
Sometimes I'd pretend I was in trouble and read from it for a bit. I don't know what the hell. Anyway. Kids are cool. So I'll tell you a little bit more about the game. And again, yeah, Brittany, take your time thinking about it. It's okay if you don't come up with it now, the other item for Athena Pearl. So we are using 2d6. So you'll be doing that thing where you roll both dice at the same time. And so with that type of gameplay, actually, the way it works is on a 7 to 9, you get to do what you intended, but there's a complication. On a 10 plus, you get to do what you intend and get to describe it versus me describing it. On a 12 plus, you get to do what you intended and you get some sort of extra benefit or advantage that I will give you. Anything else? There can be a hit if you're like trying to find a certain item, like there might be a number, but anything lower than that is generally a fail. So there are 3 types of moves in Brindlewood Bay as well. You've obviously heard about the Maven move, but they're the basic moves, and these are the ones that we're going to do about 75% of the game. So there's the day move, and this is when you're doing something risky or facing something that you fear during the day. And then there's the night move, which is the same exact thing, but during the night. And in Brindlewood Bay, everything is more dangerous at night. And so during the game, again, we won't be describing every single waking minute of these characters' lives. So we may occasionally zoom forward or, have a scene at a location and then have the next scene at another location. There'll be time changes again. So, but there's day moves, night moves. There's meddling moves. So this is when you're searching for a clue, conducting research, or otherwise trying to gather information. And again, you'll be using those actions that you had, the 5 actions that were vitality, composure, reason, presence, and sensitivity. And that's when you'll be adding your little advantage if you have one, or subtracting one. But the meddling move, if you're searching for something, because the game itself takes place in a couple different stages, which I really didn't mention at the beginning, but basically we present the mystery to you. Then there's it's about 90 minutes usually for these adventures of searching for clues. And then the cool part, or at least to me, is that then you all as a group theorize, and actually do it like out of character as well, on who the killer is from the suspects. And then depending on how you roll, you're correct or not. So there are no like chosen villains. It's based
There's
on
no like
you.
right answers. Yeah.
Yes, it's based on you, the clues you have found, how you piece it together, and how you roll. Which is interesting because it's also up to me to. It does mean that like you, each mystery itself comes with like clues, as well, and locations and suspects. So it's up to me to do a little like, behind the scenes shadow work, and then. But then also, and you can also obviously ask me questions during that phase too, the theorizing. And then if there's something, again, there's this void, this conspiracy that's also happening. That's sort of like the big arc of the story. And you will occasionally get these void clues as well. And it will be known when it happens though, because it is the non-mundane situation. So that you will find yourself in. So, but I just love the theorizing part because it's just, I don't know, it's just super cool to me because I'm just like, yes. And then you do, so based on who you've picked and how you've rolled, then there's the confrontation where you like, full on Scooby-Doo style, or sorry, Agatha Christie, Murder, She Wrote style. You hunt down this person that committed this crime. So, and then that's, but how you confront them is obviously up to you. So it could be a car chase, a boat chase, finding them at the library, something, whatever you want. And yeah. Sorry, there were a couple other moves. Sorry, I just kind of interrupted that, but a couple more other basic moves. There's the cozy move, which I mentioned before, your cozy activity. And you can do that with another maven to clear some condition you have. There are then the gold crown mystery moves. So like I mentioned earlier, you all are part of a book club because you all figured out that you're reading the Gold Crown Mysteries together by featuring Amanda Delacourt, a sleuth. And this move you can do once per mystery, and it is amazing and cute. At any point, someone can say, "This reminds me of something that happened to Amanda Delacourt." And then you must provide 3 things: the name of the book that it's from. It has to be a new book title every time. The problem or situation Amanda found herself in that's similar to the one you're facing, and how she overcame the problem.
That's the
and
best.
then you just get a plus 12 on your roll. So it's like a one-time guaranteed bull bonus. I don't know why I said bull, but like absolute, yeah, powerful once per mystery. So get ready. Don't use it the first roll. But I know Jess is going to do it at least once and be like, "Oh, I'm just going to take this away from everybody now." Okay, teasing. There's also an occult move as the last basic move. So when you're engaged in any activity that's related to the supernatural or the occult for the first time, you're going to imagine what your actions would look like as a move, and definitely roll with sensitivity. So at the beginning of the game, you as the murder mavens, you have little to no familiarity with the occult of Brindlewood Bay, I should say. So there's obviously many occults and many types of conspiracies, but there is a specific one in Brindlewood Bay that will be touching you occasionally. So, and then, I guess I could tell you about the theorize itself is technically a move when you have your open, quote unquote, freewheeling discussion. So where, and then you can get a, correct solution, all sorts of good stuff. So yeah, then there's the Maven moves, and then there's the custom moves. The Maven move you'll be doing probably 20% of the time. It'll be about your particular unique talent showing up, and then the custom moves will be something that's like something that you'll negotiate with me, the keeper, for the narrative, essentially. So there's actually like no rules anywhere, but it's just like figure it out. So I will, and me, I will definitely let you do something for the narrative if you can figure out a way to squeeze it in there. So yes, that is essentially the game. I know we've all worked together before, so we are pretty set on our safety tools and rules, but we'll probably go back over them. But again, we always keep it PG, so as many people, well, maybe PG-10 in this case because there's murder, but hopefully I don't know. Well, PG-13 is like, yeah, the kids are used to everything now. But yeah, I'm very excited to see what Dot, Athena Pearl, and Chrysanthemum get up to. And yeah, so is there anything else that you wanted to talk about or any questions you had?
Can I just quickly give you my items for Athena Pearl and Chrysanthemum?
Oh my, yes, of course.
Please, will you let me do this?
No,
So Athena Pearl, if you are willing, or if you are willing, Jess, I'd love to place a Venus flytrap in your house.
Yes, absolutely.
Cool. And then I'd like to
a real one.
A real one.
Sorry, just
yeah, no, not a plastic one.
And is it in its own? Is it in a new pot? You think like a pot or like the plastic thing it came in from the grocery store? Or from
no. I'm picturing it's in like a a well-worn pot, like you've had it for a while, kind of thing. And it's not just like one; it's like a couple little plants kind of sticking up.
Love it.
Love it. Where do you keep this, Athena Pearl?
I keep it. I think Venus flytraps can't be in direct sunlight. Is that right? So probably near a window, but not actually like in the windowsill with some of their other like random herbs and things.
Okay. Cool.
So I don't know, maybe like above the fireplace.
Okay, cool. Ooh, you got a fireplace. All right. All right. And you said you had something for Chrysanthemum as well?
Yeah. As long as Kat is willing, I would love to put a vintage recipe book from the 1950s in Chrysanthemum's house. And I also hope that along with it, anytime this group of people gets together, she like just brings us garbage 1950s recipes. Like, oh, I found this one. It's Jello salad.
Okay.
I hope. I mean, she can do with it what she wants, but
Well, I mean, that's the best part about time, right? Is every time we look back at these books, it's gonna be like, they were doing what? There's one from the 20s where it was like a cup of hot coffee and a glass of champagne. I'm like, what is this? What kind of breakfast was this? And then it's like, and then it's like lobster mayonnaise. And I'm like, but that actually does sound good with the right spices. So like sometimes they're on stuff. And sometimes I'm like, this was a joke, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, they're going to look back in 50 years, they're going to look back at us and be like, wait, they put hot Cheetos on casseroles, and they're like, right? That's going to look ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God.
Frito pie? What is that?
Yeah. One pot pasta? How lazy were these people?
Yeah,
like, exactly. You don't understand. Listen, yeah. Our productivity is up 100% and our vacation time is down 100%.
Yeah. Like, Soylent? They only ate terrible protein shakes?
Oh my gosh. Oh boy. I'm just going to add that in as something. No. Not a sponsor, never a sponsor. So, yeah. All right. Well, beautiful. Thank you so much, the two of you. And I'm excited. We got cat stuff. So at the beginning of the next game, we'll do a little review of everything. And then we actually start with everyone doing like a cozy vignette of them in their home. And then you meet up for your book club. So I guess for the next time, I'll remind you via email, but think about that and what you'll be doing. Because again, it's very much like super cozy. terrifying stuff happening, back to cozy. Like,
Love it.
I'm sure you've seen any of these murder mysteries, but like there'll be like a horrific murder, and then it's like fancy strings for the commercial, dude. Like a bump, like welcome to Midsummer Murders. Like oh my God, what happened to that body? So anyway, yeah, just to get everyone regular. All right, did you all have anything that you wanted to bump this week? Any appearances you'll be doing or disappearances?
I don't have anything for me personally, but I do have the reminder that our book club is coming up, and we're reading Legends and Lattes, which you can only kind of see because my camera doesn't want to focus on it. And the meeting, the Dames book club itself, actually happens on May 7th. So if you're one of our patrons, you can join our Discord discussion coming up. So read Legends and Lattes.
Plenty of time to read it. Plenty of time to get it. Plenty of time to read it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good one.
Yeah, I read it, but in paper form. But now I think I've been on the wait list for the audiobook because I'm like, I want someone to read it to me too, So we'll see. Brittni, do you have anything else coming up? Okay.
Nope.
Okay. Sorry, I was just asking. Just doing the.
Nope. Think so.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you all. If you are around tomorrow, at I believe it's 10 a.m. Kat will be doing her solo RPG. She is playing a 1,000-year-old vampire. As the game, haha, no jokes. So it's Apothecaria is the name of the game. I'm sorry, I forget who made it currently. And this is, I believe, her 4th. I think she's about to wrap it up. But it uses tarot cards and some other stuff, so it seems pretty interesting. And then on Tuesday, I will be playing Pierre's Adventures in French, a learning French game. I mean, you have to know a little bit, but like I'll be playing it in French, but also translating it in English and again, it's very simple and it's a point and click adventure with some goofy but very charming animation. So that's why I'm like, this is like Dames. This feels like, you know what? It feels like Irk made this game. So that's why I was like, gotta play this.
Incredible.
Yeah. But also, if you're trying to learn another language like Spanish, the same game is available called Pedro's Adventures in Spanish. So, and if you somehow came across this and don't know enough English, Peter's Adventures in English. So, or for your kids if they're learning how to read. So Tuesday at 11 a.m. Pacific, I will be doing that. Yeah.
Can't wait.
So, yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Jen.
Excuse me, Mavens, Murder Mavens.
Mavens. That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Can't wait for you. Can't wait for you to meet your the cast of regulars in your town that you love, are annoyed by.
I can't wait.
I believe it's April. Pardon me, not April 16th will be our next game, if I recall. So
mark your calendars.
And we'll have Kat here. Come hail or high water. No. All right.
Cool.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye. Thanks for hanging out.